Hey y'all, listen, I'm all discombobulated over here. I'm just trying to do 50 things at one time. But listen, guys, happy Monday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, today's Monday. Happy Monday, guys. Happy Monday. You know it's trending topics Monday, and we're going to get into it. We got some stories to talk about and some things to address over here today. Men run the world. Men run the world. That's our title for tonight. Men run the world. Okay. And so we're going to talk Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. They did their fourth installment of Bad Boys. It's called Bad Boys Ride or Die. And we'll give this to Martin Lawrence. He's a true friend. He's a ride or die. Because nobody wanted to put two fingers on Will Smith after he smacked Chris Rock at the 2022, Oscars. Nobody wanted nothing to do with him. No, they did not. They didn't want to touch him. But you know who stood by his side? Martin Lawrence. You know, sometimes you got what they call fair weather friends. Yeah, fair weather friends. They only around you when times are good. Only around you when you can give them some money. Only around you when everybody is calling your name. But Martin Lawrence stood by him, and it was worth it. You want to know why? Bad Boys Ride or Die, it rocked the box office this weekend. Knocked it out the box. 106 million collectively. Yes, it did. $106 million collectively. You can't beat that. No, you cannot. So he's back on the up. And, you know, many people said, oh, you know, Will Smith was never canceled. Now, the people need to stop telling a lie. Now, when I did a video earlier, someone came in my chat and they was like, Diva, you was one of the people that was like, oh, Will Smith is not going to recover. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Y'all beat me down over here with a stick. You better go back and check my videos. I did 199 videos on can y'all forget Will Smith? Can we get over it? And y'all was beating me down. And I bought his wife's book. It's back there in my collection. And y'all told me nobody's going to read it. Y'all kept blaming everything on Jada. And I said, don't blame it on Jada. And I asked y'all, was y'all going to see that Emancipation movie? And y'all said y'all tired of slave movies. So now if you're going to say I said something, you got to get it right. Now, if I did, I'll admit to it. But no, I was riding for Will. And y'all initially accused me of, oh, you don't got no feelings for the victim, Chris Rock. And I must have said 1,000 times, I do feel for Chris Rock. And I said, forget both of them. So y'all better go remind yourself of the videos. Yes, I never said Will Smith was over. I asked multiple times, can we forget the man? Because everybody makes mistakes. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on. That's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. But no, before we move on, hold on one second. Before we move on, many people are thinking something is amiss with Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence is 10 toes down. He said Marty Marr is good. Marty Marr is only 60. He seems like he's walking a little slower. He seems like he's talking with a little slur or whatever. But if he said he's good, then I guess we'll go ahead and roll with that. He said he's good, so we're going to roll with Marty Marr is good. But listen, everything that we've seen on the tour so far, when it comes to Martin, all doesn't look well. But okay, we'll roll with you. You say you good, we'll go ahead and roll with you are good. So we're going to move on from Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. You want to know why? Because men rule the world. Then we got this Michael Rainey Jr. Y'all know about him? They said from Power. You're a big 50 Cent fan in his shows. Okay, Power. The book of whatever. Come on, y'all name it for me. Well, anyway, he went and did this podcast, a popular YouTuber. The YouTuber's sister grabbed his private area during the live stream. He said he's still trying to process what happened to him. You know what? Ghost. Thank you, TM Christian. Thank you. Ghost. You know what? The industry are just, maybe it's just people in general, are over sexualized, and they think they could just put their hands and do whatever they want to whomever. You know, the Don said it over here. He said everybody, but he was talking about physically, like, you know, you doing this or doing that, slapping somebody, or maybe pow somebody, punching them. He said everybody need to keep their hands to themselves, whether you're a male or a female. Okay, and he was talking about
an organism sex is
he
female.
He was talking about physical. I want to say this. You need to keep your hands to yourself too, because unless I say you can touch me, then you shouldn't be touching me in no intimate way. What has this girl seen? I don't know her age and everything, but what has this girl seen in her household that she think it's okay when she sees somebody, a male, she could just go grab him in the private area and that's going to be okay? Child, it seems as if the Diddy blueprint, it trickles down to all people. That's what it seems like. It seems like the regular everyday people are doing it. It seems like this thing is wild. This girl literally, and he said he don't know. He's still trying to process it. He's not sure what he's going to do yet. The content creator said, even though that's my sister, I got to roll with him. Whatever he decided to do, he decided to do. So you got your sister on your podcast that has no self-control, and she going to impact the money you about to make. You got to be dumb, stupid, or both. If you know your sister wild like that and out there, why? And she gonna get starstruck and she gonna act crazy when she see a star. Then why are you allow her on your job? When I come up here to have trending topics with y'all, I take it seriously. I don't just throw together whatever because y'all spending your time with me. I try to pull together some relevant topics, have a conversation with y'all, not just say anything and be like whatever. To my level, to the best of my ability, I try to be responsible, pull the stories together, and I read into them a little bit before I come up here. I try. So in other words, this is my job. This is my job. I'm not going to just let anybody come in here on my job and just be wilding out. No, this is my channel. I'm responsible for it. That's why I got to control it. And although I allow everybody to say what they want to say and say their feelings, if they say something I feel is really off, y'all know me. I'll be like, hold on, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They can say this, but let me just throw this out here. Let me try to get you back on track and tell you the facts that I know. And you know, we got other people on the channel, they come and say, hold on, let me throw some more facts in this situation. But we do. We try to take it serious over here on the Diva Train. We do. And we ain't saying we perfect. And we ain't saying we better than nobody else. What we saying is we try our best over here. Yeah, we do. And I ain't perfect, so I ain't going to get everything right. But whatever I do know, you know, I stand 10 toes down on it. But men rule the world. Because, and the reason why I say that is, when he got grabbed by this girl, there's a lot of outrage. And I'm not saying this shouldn't be, so connect with me. There's a lot of outrage. I said, woo, ain't this something? So this girl grabs this guy, and the people are calling her disgusting, gross, she's out of control, she needs to keep her hand to herself, how the F did she think that's right? I mean, the people were blasting her in the comments. But all year long, starting last year, and probably even before, you know, we've been hearing stories about ladies that been getting slipped little stuff in their drinks, getting taken advantage of, getting getting this, and nobody has yet to really call all of these men disgusting, gross, nasty, and all kind of other stuff. Go lock them up. And the other thing is, you know, when it comes to Diddy, It's a slow road. People are saying it, but it's a slow road. They really only got outraged when they saw the visual of the video of him putting his hands on Cassie. But the story's been out there for years that he put his hands on Kim Porter, allegedly. But even if we leave Kim Porter out of this for 1.2 seconds, we know for fact, now this one we don't have to say allegedly, we know for fact because it hit the mainstream media that way back then when Justin was at the university and he didn't like the way a coach did something, and Diddy went over there and he handled the coach. So we've been hearing about this man putting hands on people. And nobody really, was on a high level talking about he gross, he this, he that, other. Child, this girl put their hands on the man. Men rule the world. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Now let's go to the Bernie Mac cast. Did y'all like the Bernie Mac show when it was on? Yeah, I like the Bernie Mac show. Well, the ladies from the Bernie Mac cast, listen, I guess if you lose your job, your next step is OnlyFans. What world do we live in when the oldest profession in the world, they're making it cute by calling it OnlyFans. Now, I ain't going to get crazy because I don't want some of y'all to lose your mind, but it is what it is. It's still corn. And put the P in front of it. So they're dressing it up saying it's OnlyFans. I'm taking cute, suggested pictures with my clothes off. And the people who want to see it, they see it. Like, what's the difference in a Playboy magazine? But I mean, OnlyFans, people, I guess they digest it a little bit easier. And it doesn't seem like, I guess, for some, what it really is. So anyway, a lot of the ladies, the actresses that played on the Bernie Mac show, they have turned to OnlyFans because they said the jobs and the money dried up. And one even said, listen, why should I go get a contract where they're going to rip me off? And I'm a paraphrase. They're going to rip me off. I'm not going to get that much money anyway. And then, like Taraji P. Henson said, I got to get some to the agent, some to this one, some to that one, some to that one. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to have no money when I could go to OnlyFans and all the money I make, I pocket that money. And I get it. You're saying I could go to OnlyFans and I make $2 million a year. But then one of them said, she was like, well, eventually I want to have a family. Those pictures live on the internet forever. So what happens is they're devoted, dedicated, paid subscribers. Once they find like, oh, that's the chick from the Bernie Mac show, they snappity snap, and then they take said pictures and they release them to the rest of the world who don't have a paid subscription. And then your business is all out on the streets. That's what they do. So, just like Kim Kardashian now she wishing she could scrub the internet of her ex tape. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. You can't, girlfriend. It's done, it's done. And your kids are eventually going to hear about it and know about it if they already don't. They talk about the sins of a father. Well, you know what? Now we're talking about the sins of a father, a mother, a auntie, or uncle, the village. Because a lot of times the people in the village, they're condoning the nonsense. Before, maybe long time ago, maybe many moons ago, if your mother was acting a fool, you had grandma to be like, but your mom going through something right now, but no, you're going to sit down at this table, you're going to eat, you're going to wash your booty, you're going to do your homework, and you're going to get into bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock the latest. And when your mother get her life together and come back around, then you could go live back with your mama, but right now you got to stay here with Nana. Now mama acting up, Nana acting up, auntie acting up, And when you come partly of age, you, Nana, Auntie, and all of y'all all in the club together, dropping it like it's hot. Hashtag, where's the village? Where's the village? Because the young lady from the Bernie Mac show said, I went to my mother and father. Listen, even when we're adults, we turn back. Not Nana got a BBL also. Oh my God, I cannot. But you are correct. Mama getting a BBL, getting the boobs done. Now, if I mention her name, y'all gonna pass out. But I remember one of the reality show moms said, you got your boobs done. I want mine done too. What I look like at 54 going to the doctor talking about, can I get a double D and make my booty real big? If as you get older, you can't find some peace with yourself and your life and the way you look and the person you see in the mirror, I suggest you go to therapy. And I'm not trying to be fresh. This is it. I got to live with it. I'm going to get no big boobs in the booty at 54. It's just crazy. But listen, guys, I done talked enough. Y'all ready for me to bring the people in the building? Because we got a conversation. Let me say this before I bring the people in the building. I see you, Tay. Thank you. Let me say this before I bring the people in the building. Y'all got emotional for whoever stopped through last night over the pit bull story. Now, all you pit bull owners out there, please take care of your dogs and don't teach them to be mean. And traumatize the people with this pit bull story. I thought it was going to be an easy woo in and out. No. But I saw Tay threw it in the chat for me. I appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and bring the people in the building. I need to watch y'all. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Monday night trending topics, and men run the world. We got Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, okay? Bad boys, ride or die. He done broke the movie box. He broke the record for the weekend, $106 million. I will tell you what, as much as they wanted to cancel Will and the Oscar said he can't come, he's banned for 10 years, money runs everything, okay? All they care about is the green dollar bill. They have opened the gates back up for Will Smith. I promise you that. Okay, this Michael Rainey Jr. They told me from Ghost, okay? I guess that he started out Power, but anyway, from Ghost. He was at a podcast, and the podcast creator, his sister, came in and grabbed this man's private parts. He said he's still trying to process what happened. And he's not sure what he about to do. Meaning he don't know if he's going to press charges, what he going to do. But everybody do. You need to keep your hands to yourself. And we got the cast of Bernie Mac. They feel it's okay to be on OnlyFans. We're going to talk about it. Let me go ahead and load this train up. Hey, Leah.
Hey, Diva. It's a man's world in my James Brown voice.
Come on, it's a man's world, honey. Okay, they rule the world. Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Tay. Hey, Julius.
Hello, everybody.
What? You don't want your Winnie?
Hey, Chanel. All right, y'all.
Hello.
Let's do this. Y'all ready? Men rule the world. Everybody on mute, please.
Where you going?
Katrina, not on mute. Okay. Katrina, can you mute your line, please? Okay. Everybody on mute. Okay, so let's go ahead and run into this story. You know, the first story I want to do is we'll get it out the way. Forgiveness in the world, I guess, has decided to forgive Will Smith. It was 2022 when it was the smack. Okay, 2022 when it was the smack, the Oscar smack that rocked the world, rocked the industry. And so here we are 2 years later, and they was trying to determine, because he had a lot of projects lined up before that smack, right? It was the Emancipation movie that many people said that was an Oscar-winning performance. I did not see it, but many people was like, they didn't feel like watching another slave movie. But here he is in 2024. He got Bad Boys Ride or Die with Martin Lawrence, and boom, back in business. So let me go ahead and share screen. There's several things I want to talk about here. I want to talk about how Martin Lawrence told the people, like, listen, I'm good. Because many people was wondering, kind of what happened with him. Hold on one second. Did my screen share? There we go.
No need for people to be concerned. And I'm healthy as hell. Stop the rumors.
Yo, leave me the f alone, man. I'm chilling.
There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard.
That one
you've been
too.
cloned.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that we look good and that I look good, because there's a rumor out there that I had a stroke. Man,
Man.
that's totally not true. So I just want to clear that up. But I thank everybody for the concern and the love, and just thank you. But Marty's all good.
Marty's all right.
There's also a rumor, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, that you're a clone. That was the one that I heard.
That one
you've been
too.
cloned.
Well, that's AI.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the people, because they're concerned about your health? Is there anything you want to say to them while you have the floor?
I'm fine. I'm in God's hands. I'm blessed. You know, I'm glad to be waking up every day and everything. No need for people to be concerned. And I'm healthy as hell. Stop the rumors.
Yo, leave me the f alone, man. I'm chilling.
He said he good. So I want to share a screen again. Hold on one second. So Will Smith revised box office with big opening for Bad Boys Ride or Die at 104.6 million worldwide. This comes amid a slew of summer box office contenders performing poorly upon release. So he knocked it out the box, these two. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are proving that not all hope is lost for the summer blockbuster season. The beloved Bad Boys duo released the fourth installment in the series, titled Bad Boys Ride or Die, on June 7th, and quickly snagged the top spot in box offices internationally over the film's debut weekend. According to ComScore, Smith and Lawrence's newest project secured $56 million at the domestic box office and an additional $48.6 million internationally, bringing the film's total global box office debut to $104.6 million. The figure greatly exceeds the global box office return of all other summer blockbuster contenders for the year so far, with the second place If netting $33.7 million in its first 3 days, according to ComScore. One of the other hotly anticipated films of the summer, Deadpool and Wolverine, was initially slated to be released on May 3rd, but will now release on July 26th due to delays endured as a result of the SAG strike that shuttered Hollywood from July 14th to November 8th, 2023. Before the sequel's weekend success at the box office, Smith was hoping to make a big screen comeback with the latest installment in the Bad Boys franchise. A film industry source recently told People, Bad Boys is not a risk. The source told People, it's a good piece to see him soar. A talent as ambitious and financially successful as well does not go away with one mistake. He stands to keep the box office success alive, the insider added. So you know what? Happy for Will Smith. Hashtag Bad Boys Ride or Die. Leo, what are your thoughts?
Hashtag Bad Boys Ride or Die. I am here for it. I am encouraged by his success. Because look, if we all are in a place where we can judge others all the time, consistently on a mistake, no matter how long ago it was, as long as it's not any type of DV or SA or ST, then I can rock with you.
Right.
I can rock with you. So it's unfortunate as far as how he lost control and perpetrated this particular thing against Chris Rock. But the thing is that he is still a talent. And we cannot judge each other on our worst day. Because if you judge me on my worst day, Diva, every time I come up, you will be up clicking me down. Like, no, not her. So everybody has a very bad situation where they have acted unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And so Will Smith is still a good talent. I look forward to seeing this project. I have not seen it. Diva was the first person to tell me that the Bad Boys movie was out, because God knows I did not know. So I look forward to seeing it and see what they produce. And I'm glad that he has had some success. And look, I wish the best on Chris Rock on his success. Whatever success that's looking forward for him. He may not be my particular type of humor, but I wish him success as well. And I wish Jada success. This is something that's interpersonal that we all were introduced into the chat. I think there are things that have went on between the three of them that was displayed to us, and it was unfortunate for Will. It was unfortunate for Chris. It was unfortunate for Jada. And I hope we can all move past it because it's time. So I'm glad. I'm glad the box office made money. I'm glad Will made money. And hopefully we can appreciate Chris Rock in sometime in the future where he will make money off the box office. So, I'm here for it.
I agree with you. I appreciate you. Thank you. In my opinion, you're up.
So the only person that's making noise about the Chris Rock situation is Stephen A. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish Stephen A. Smith would quit speaking for us. Okay. Mm-hmm. He made a statement that Will still haven't told the black community why he felt like he had the right to hit Chris. That's none of our business. That man apologized. He said what he had to say. It's none of our business. And it's none of your business to be in somebody else's business. I need Stephen A. Smith to go sit down somewhere. As far as the rumors about Martin Lawrence, I don't believe that man is lying. I do pray for him. Whatever he's been through, it's his personal business. It's not for me to say, oh, well, you owe us to know what's going on in your medical life. No, I don't need to know what's going on in his medical life. As long as he good, I'm good. So him and Vivica Fox good, I'm good. That's all I got to say.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Julius, you're up.
Auntie Vivica said it best. I'm good. They good. Chris good. Will good. Martin good. Listen, Auntie Vivica said it best. I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you. Tay, you're up.
And Martin said, leave him alone. He said he's good. Leave him alone. He's good. He's healthy. Okay? That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
Hey, Diva. I as well have not been to see the movie, but I do plan to go see the movie. These two have that winning formula, that chemistry where they vibe off each other and they make great movies together. Martin brings the comedy and Will brings the action and the eye candy. So I am looking forward to this new installment of Bad Boys. And I did see the Stephen A. trying to get a viral moment as well. I don't know why he's inserting himself or just trying to reignite that conversation again, because if all parties are good and have moved on, then I think that it needs to be put to rest, and we need to focus on the art, because ever since streaming has been now mainstream, the movies are becoming obsolete. Not too many people do go to movies anymore. Could because you have the comfort of seeing it from your own home. And all the movie theaters are now installing like where they bring food to your seats, or the seats are now really, really comfortable where you actually fall asleep during the movie. But I just think them then igniting, kicking off the summer, and hopefully there's a few more blockbusters prepared to be released this summer, that they continue on this trend. Because going to the movies is something that families should definitely do. But I applaud them too. The Will, and as well as Martin, but Will Smith is not only loved here in the US, but he is loved internationally. And I can see why he had such a strong showing this weekend. And they don't feel the same way as we do here about the incident at the Oscars a couple years ago. So I applaud these two men for igniting and putting some energy back into the film industry.
Thank you, Savannah. I appreciate you. Lakeisha, thank you so much for the super chat. She said the chat was egregious. However, it was Will not taking accountability that disgusted me. He never apologized to Chris. He made excuses in every interview. He attacked him publicly and should sincerely apologize publicly. Thank you so much for the super chat and your thoughts. I appreciate you. Chanel, you're up.
Hey, so regarding Martin, I guess, and the stroke allegations or whatever, or assumptions, I think that sometimes celebrities, whatever they have going on, they may not necessarily want that to be public. And I 100% agree, whatever your medical situation is, it's not for the public. You shouldn't, there's no requirement, in my opinion, about whatever you got going on medically. I do understand, and I haven't heard everything, but my assumption is it's from a place of concern and not necessarily from a place of conviction. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's probably more of what's going on. People are just probably concerned. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've seen all of them. So I'll probably be going to go see it soon. I also feel like, I don't know, it just kind of feels adjacent to me with what was going on with Jamie Foxx, because I don't know still if we even still know whatever happened to him. But like I said, I think sometimes celebrities either don't know or don't want to tell you whatever might be going on, because a bigger part of it, I think a bigger component too, if you go and you say you have mental illness or you have some sort of illness, because I think that guy from what was it, from Black Panther, he ended up having cancer and passing away, but I didn't know. I mean, I couldn't tell from him being in Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? And it felt like he worked up to his last day. That's what it felt like to me. It just seemed like all of a sudden. And I think had he come out and said, oh, I have cancer, he probably would have lost on a lot of contracts. So I don't know what's going on with Martin. I'm going to just believe that what he said is true and, roll from there. Regarding Will hitting Chris Rock, listen, everybody knows I'm anti-violence. However, there's always an exception to me. And I think the exception is going to be your children, your wife, your husband. That's just how I feel about it. If you offend or listen, I don't think anyone, just because someone says something, has the right to physically assault or attack you. I don't agree with that. However, I don't have a child. If you talk about my child, you probably listen. I just feel like don't do that. It's kind of like that Candace thing. Just listen, hush your mouth, girl, unless you want to. And like I said, I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying, as a human being, everybody has limits. So I ain't have no problem with Will. It is what it is. I didn't have a problem then. I don't have a problem now. I think I think this Hollywood responds to money. So it really wouldn't matter if you let Weinstein get away with all that stuff for years, and they probably gonna still let him make another movie. I don't see why Will can't, but that's just me. I don't think.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, I apologize. Sorry.
That's okay. Dadon, you're up.
This just lets people know that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are still wanted and needed in the movie space. I want to be frank. Stephen A. Smith is saying that Will needs to apologize to Black people. Stephen A. Smith needs to worry about why he's peddling Chinese and Russia propaganda all over Fox News. Apologize to Black people for that. And half of the Black coalition of the United States of America don't like Chris Rock because he continues to perpetrate these black stereotypes to his majority white audience. So, you know, these two brothers have a good, Martin and Will have a good black audience that will continue to support them. While, you know, Stephen A. Smith is still making excuses for Caitlin Clark and not Aja Smith. He needs to talk to the black coalition about that. And why his suits are still orange and purple in 2024.
Oh my God. Thank you to Dawn. You're in the building. E, you're up.
Well, I was late and the train didn't pull off without me. Good evening. You know, I don't think Will Smith owes anybody an apology. He's apologized enough, and I think he said what he said. He did what he did, and it was in the name of standing up for his wife. And I think that was 2 years ago. I think we have more important things to worry about now, and I think it was a valuable lesson learned. I don't think Chris Rock has said Jada's name since, right? So I think Will Smith did the right thing. As far as Martin, you can clearly see that he's not as swift and quick-witted as he used to be. And I think all a part of being a comic is being able to think on your feet, think quickly, and get the response out. And, you know, he says that he hasn't had a stroke. And so I have to believe that. But something is going on, whether it just be age or something else. But clearly he doesn't want to share what that is. And so we have to respect that. But it is wonderful to see those two still together. It's nostalgic. And it's wonderful that both of them still had the beans in order to be able to pull this off. I think it's beautiful to see, and I heard the movie is doing very well, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, my sister saw it, but she loves that whole Bad Boys franchise, and she said it was extremely good. And I don't know if you saw the last one, but the last one, Will Smith found out he had a son. She said the son.
No, don't spoil it.
Okay, I'm not spoiling anything. All I'm gonna say is she said the son did amazing. Like she said, it's good. She said it's good. So
well, see, the son was fine, and see that was my husband, and see, but that's why I said let me see how my husband.
Thank you for saying that.
See your husband.
Issue with that boy, he was fine as anything. Fine piece of meat.
Yeah, you better get to the theaters and see your husband, because I heard he did a great performance. Okay, so anywho, we're gonna move on. Forgiveness is in the building, y'all. Okay, so forgive Will Smith. That does not mean that we don't feel for Chris Rock, but we're just saying forgive Will Smith and go support Bad Boys, the 4th installment called Ride or Die. Okay, so anyway,
Even
guys,
you skipped me.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, Katrina. Go ahead.
My feelings just hurt my feelings. Why don't you?
You gotta tell me. Go ahead. Thank you.
The only thing I'm gonna say is like it's quick this time. That Will has never really been problematic in the Hollywood thing until all the stuff came out about Jada. Will was really a silent character. You know what I'm saying? He never really stirred anything up in the Hollywood thing until that slap. And when he did slap him, Chris Rock should thank him, because when he got that slap, his ticket sales went higher, and he got sold out. But before that, his ticket sales was struggling. So when he got that slap, he got a higher price on his tickets, and his souls got sold out. So I'm not saying that he should have. Well, he did. He was speaking up for his wife, and I appreciate that on Will. Because like I said, Will never really been a problematic ever since he was on the Fresh Prince, and when he was with DJ Jazzy Jeff. So I hope everything's good for him. Martin, you know, he had his brush with Tisha Campbell when they was doing the Martin show and all that type of stuff, but he came out on it. And I think that really hurt him too. But either way, I'm happy that they're doing their Bad Boys things. And if people don't want to go to the movies, I'm just give you a little hint. It is on Apple TV. But yeah, that's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you, but I just want to throw this out there. There was rumors about Will Smith. There was rumors about Will Smith. And it started all the way back from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with him and the first Aunt Viv. But there was other rumors too about him, and I think it was paparazzi or somebody on the red carpet with one movie he did, and then there was another thing where this guy tried to kiss him out on the red carpet or something like that. So it's not as if like everything was so squeaky clean, but you never heard about him physically putting his hands on anybody. But there was some, breadcrumbs
those little things. Yeah, those
on
little
the
gross.
ground.
But
Yeah,
most
there
of
was
the time when he did that, Diva, he was antagonized. Like that man trying to kiss him. I'm like, be for real. I don't know you like that. Yeah, he had some stuff that comes out, but it wasn't like the colorism with what's her
I hear
name?
you.
Yeah, that one.
I hear
But
you. I hear
yeah,
you.
but he he
Yeah.
he he did a little stuff, but his stuff is not dramatic like the ones we hear now. But okay, there we go.
I hear you. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. This is even with people in our own personal lives. Sometimes you don't know people until you know. Okay, because now we're seeing that Kanye West seems to be having some Diddy-like activity, but we'll carry on because they ain't on the docket tonight. So we're gonna move on to this Michael Rainey Jr. story, which is all I can say. Okay, it's messy. It's messy. And let me just go ahead and present the story. Let me share a screen, and then I'll bring up if I can bring back up. I think I lost the video, but I think I'll find the video and bring it back up. Before I share this, let me stop because I have something else I do want to share. Let me share that. Let me share. Okay. So I want to share this first. So Michael Rainey Jr. addresses viral video of him being touched inappropriately. He said, "I'm still in shock and don't fully know how to process what happened." So here he is, and he's saying at this point, everyone has seen the video circulating online. "I'm still in shock and don't fully know how to process what happened last night. This is an unfortunate situation that I do not condone in any way. I can't take it lightly because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed." And he is absolutely correct. If he was just at some podcast and this woman was standing there and it was being streamed live and he went and grabbed any of her body parts, he would be in so much trouble, right? The fact is, SA is never okay. Can we send a memo yet again? Because the world seems to have not received it. Regardless of gender or status, we are all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should always respect ourselves, okay? So Tylil, is it James, issues an apology to Michael Rainey Jr. after his sister inappropriately touches him. "I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation. So after the actions that occurred during my stream last night, I would like to sincerely apologize to Michael and his family for what took place. My little sister was completely wrong and out of line. What she did was very inappropriate and unacceptable. I'm truly embarrassed and disgusted by her actions. I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation. After watching the clip, I was completely taken back by what she done. I will take extreme precautions with future streams to avoid similar issues and have banned her from participating in future streams. I do not condone any type of assault." And so there you see the sister. There he is with a shocked face. Okay. And so a rep for Michael also addressed the situation and said, "This situation is not being taken lightly. SH and assault are serious and unacceptable acts. Taking advantage of someone's celebrity in this matter devalues entertainers and underscores the need to respect their humanity. Those who entertain us are human beings just like everyone else." Whew, this is messy. So let me stop sharing this. And let me just read a little bit more. I think this is the article I want to bring up. So Powers Michael Rainey Jr. said he's still processing after being SA'd on live stream. The Power Book 2 ghost actor was grabbed without his consent during an appearance on Ty James' Twitch live stream on June 9th. Michael Rainey Jr. is speaking out after he was touched without his consent on a live stream. On June 9th, the Power Book 2 Ghost Star 23 appeared on Ty James' Twitch live stream and was grabbed inappropriate by Jane's sister in a moment caught on camera during the stream and later circulated on X, formerly Twitter. In a statement to people, a rep for Rainey Jr. said he is deeply saddened and shocked by the events that occurred during Ty James' live stream this past weekend. He is still processing what happened and doesn't entirely know how to feel about it. The situation is not being taken lightly, the statement continued. SH and A are serious, unacceptable acts. Taking advantage of someone's celebrity in this manner devalues entertainers and underscores the need to respect their humanity. Those who entertain us are human beings, just like everyone else. In the video, Jane's sister's hands are blocked by the children, and there were children in the room standing in front of her. But Rainey Jr. looked visibly uncomfortable after she approached him. He appeared to reach down in an effort to block her contact while looking around for help. The actor reportedly exited the live stream shortly after the encounter. On his Instagram stories, Rainey Jr. wrote, he is still in shock and can't take it lightly because I know I would be in serious trouble if the roles were reversed. This is an unfortunate situation that I can't condone in any way, he wrote. The fact is, SA is never okay, regardless of gender or status. We're all human and we should respect each other. Most importantly, we should respect ourselves. James took to Instagram stories to share a statement too in response to the clip, writing, after the actions that occurred during my stream last night, I would like to sincerely apologize to Michael and his family for what took place. My sister was completely wrong and out of line. What she did was very inappropriate and unacceptable. I'm truly embarrassed and disgusted by her actions, the statement continued. I completely respect whatever direction Michael wants to go in this situation. After watching the clip, I was completely taken aback by what she's done. While I will take extreme precaution in future streams to avoid similar issues and have banned her from participating in future streams, I can't condone assault of any type. I saw the video. Of course, we cannot play it here, but I will say this also, that there were little kids in the room. In my opinion, your thoughts?
I like Tyler James, and I also like Michael Rainey Jr. Both amazing talents. I don't know how we got to this situation. I don't know what happened before the video because, like I said, the video was really videoing. But they only gave us the part of when it happened. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how it happened. I don't know what made her feel entitled to touch him like that.
Yeah.
I think she might have been happy to see him or, had a little crush on him or whatever. I don't know, but I know we need to tell people to keep your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, it's keep happening. And whether it was intentional or not, it happened and he feels uncomfortable. And for that, I am sorry.
Yeah, it's messy. Savannah, you're up.
So I was able to see the video this afternoon, and I found it extremely disturbing because this young man was clearly uncomfortable, and the behavior seemed predatory in some sense. I don't know if the young lady, but because I heard she's over the age of 18, if it was for a viral moment or did she really have a crush on this young man? I mean, because he is a cutie, he's on Power, and I can understand, but I wasn't. I just thought it was way too aggressive, and for them there to be children in the room, I question where were the adults and how close were they? But with and that, when I made that question, someone said, "Well, she was an adult because she's over the age of 18." Um, so it's unfortunate because this young man, I really haven't heard any stories about him in these social media streets, and for him to be confused and going through these emotions right now, especially in this climate where we have the Diddy's, the Trey Songs, the Kanyes. Um, what is he? You know what is he to do but to do the right thing? And that is clearly SA on the young man. It wasn't invited. It was unwarranted, and and in a room with so many other witnesses, and she did not care. She was oblivious to what was going on. She was focused on one thing only, and it was very graphic for that age. I don't recall ever doing that at that age, but I don't know. Either I'm out of touch with this youth, or she was just going for a viral moment.
which is where she got herself into a whole bunch of trouble. Chanel, you're up.
I agree with the person that was violated. I don't think it matters what your gender is or what you identify as. People should keep their hands to themselves, period, point blank. And I think that whoever this person was, I can't remember if you said they apologized or not, but if they have not, then that's the next step.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what happened, the content creator apologized. We haven't heard from his sister yet. But I think in her case now, because she may need to lawyer up, maybe she needs to keep her mouth shut for right now. Julius, you're up.
I'm a pass on this story.
Okay, Tay, you're up.
Look at here, don't get into my personal space and then touch me in the program. Lord have mercy, I can't say the word. Where is the bodyguard? Where's the adult that? They should be in the room. And this kid was uncomfortable, and you was in his personal space. He don't want to be touched. Yeah, that's all, Diva.
Yeah, Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, if she wanted to make an impression on him, she just should have shook his hand or maybe gave him a hug or asked him, "Can I have a hug?" or "Can you shake my hand?" But just to go up there and pull on his privates, be for real, that's disgusting. And you're right, if that was a woman, well, the women have been getting touched like that, and no man stood up for them either. But I'm just saying, if that was a woman, at this point right now, yes, it'll be a lot of stuff talking about her, saying that he's disgusting, why he did this and all that and this. So yeah, it's a better way of greeting somebody than touching their private parts. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You're up.
The most beautiful line in Michael's answer was, "We must respect ourselves."
Come on. Yes.
And Michael is a Jamaican. And if a Jamaican man is interested in you, he will be direct about it. You will know. Michael was standing there paying that girl no mind. I'm sure he saw her when he entered. And if he wanted her, she would have known because he would have engaged in some type of conversation. Just think about the context of why he was there. This wasn't a hangout. This is not a club. They're streaming online. This is a game thing. And so when these folks are playing a game, it's a science to it, and it's very cognitive and it's analytical. That girl was way out of bounds. And rather than speaking to him after the work portion was over, when they could have been in a space where it was more for leisure, there is a way that you can speak to him as a lady, because contrary to all belief, there is a way that a woman can still be soft, demure, and ladylike and inquire if a man has anyone special in his life. and without touching him. I think the way that she went about it was very trash. It was offensive, and it demonstrates her upbringing, what type of mother and father she has, and how they have taught her as a young lady to respect herself as a woman. And I think it was that last line, "We must respect ourselves." That was the hook right there, because your mother never taught you how to respect yourself when engaging with men. So now I'm going to embarrass you even further. Not only am I not interested, but I don't like you like that. And where's your father? Because there's also another video that is going around where the person, I think you say his name is Little Tyler or whatever his name is, he's grabbing on a young lady who is a guest of his and thrusting on her without permission, and she's having to hold her hands up and say, "Wait a minute, this is too close." So I think it's something that runs in the family. I think it's something they do in the house. I think it's too many people in there. And when the person came out, whatever his name is, Little Tyler, he initially said, he's not going to throw his sister under the bus. The statement that you read, I believe, was the one that he said afterward. So initially, he did apologize to Michael, but then he was trying to have his sister back. And then once he saw how egregious it was based upon the temperature of the fans, he kind of switched his gears. And then he said, "She's been banned from the space while we're filming." No, you need to get you a recording space that you can invite high profile people over so that they can feel safe. This is not a safe atmosphere when you have your sister in the back who's like an old rusty jalopy with a corpse in the front. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
So,
the other issue I have, though, I'm gonna let you finish. The other issue I have too, though, is these little kids that was around. So not only did his sister do this, she was comfortable doing it, and I'm guessing that's the little siblings. They was in the room.
Those kids have probably seen a lot because it's so many people in and out of that house in the name of filming. They've been around smoking, they've been around drinking, all kinds of. It's so much going on in that house. And that's why I said he needs a professional space that is not connected to the familial home, because he's mixing the two and it's trashy.
Very trashy. But now he has got himself, well, the sister helped. He's in hot water now. And see, that's why you have to treat whatever you do, even when you're on these live streams, you shouldn't take what you do on your Instagram live, what you do on what's that, TikTok, what you do on YouTube. It's not a joke. This is your brand. This is what you're putting out there.
But Diva, that person in the chat, it's kind of touching on what I was trying to say in a nice way. The content of this
is content. Yeah, I saw that. Go ahead. Say it.
It's raunchy and it's ratchet. And I think what the sister did was on brand, but they're getting a lot of views, they're getting a lot of money, and think about how upstanding Michael is. He's taking the high road here, but that could have ended up another type of way. How many other guys has she walked up to and grabbed them in the front and they went for it? This must have worked for her, because why would she do this and think it's going to work right now? I don't think this was her first time. And I just feel like Michael is such a class act. It just makes me like him so much more.
I like him a lot too. And I don't watch Ghost like that, but he definitely is for 23. He handled that extremely well. But my thing is, and for Michael, and listen, nothing should happen to anybody. But if you go on this show and you know how he gets down, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, if I go in the jungle, I gotta expect the lions and tigers and bears are coming for me.
I hear you. I just still feel you would think that you would be the most you would have to deal with is the trash talking from the other men, or something like that. looking from the outside looking in, I would not have expected for her to do that. And I don't think that she felt she did anything wrong. I feel like they were even shocked that he left immediately after. Like you're saying, how many other guests have they done that to?
Well, like you said, from what I'm seeing is, I don't know this young man's show, right? But from what I'm seeing is, and what especially I forgot who wrote that message. Oh, here it is, Luciana. So this is on brand for him. You might understand how not so nice this content is. So this is his brand. This is what he's about. It's almost like, you know, I'm going to go back to my days of talk shows. If Jerry Springer would have ever called me back in my days, I would have already known it's about some mess. If Maury called me, I would already know somebody must try to want a paternity test or something like that. So I am by no means saying that he deserved or what happened to him was not right. But sometimes too, just as we said, we got to respect ourselves, then you got to respect the environments that you bring yourself into. You can't go into the lion's den. You know, it's like they said, once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it back up. And again, I'm not faulting him, right? But I'm saying that it's a hard lesson learned. Watch the environments and who you say yes to when they want you to come upon their podcast. Because they could put you in a trick bag. And so this sister, but I would be standing there like, who's going to get crazy with little kids in the room? But this sister did. So to me, that Ty, whatever his show name is, he got himself in a lot of hot water because you are now, this happened in front of children. Who kids are these? And now they may be calling CPS on you. Because your sister just feel like she can go to grabbing in front of people. What if he would have not pushed her off? How far would she have went? And there were kids in the room. Because you see him, he's like, whoa, like what's going on here? And then he left afterwards. So how far would she have went if he didn't stop? And how far, like you said, did she go with other guests and they was cool with it? And how much are these little kids seeing this being done? And they might think it's okay for me to go grab up on somebody when they come in because this is a kiki and a ha-ha. It's messy. We're going to move on to the last story. And the last story is, does anybody remember the Bernie Mac show? Put a note in the chat if you remember the Bernie Mac show, right? Come on now, Barbara. I wouldn't even grab my significant other in the room with other people. Where do they do that at? Yeah, Mama Misha, what if he had physically tried to defend himself? This thing could have got real messy. So the Bernie Mac show, he had daughters on that show. Both, like actually, I want to say both of the young ladies from that show have, hashtag Bernie, have resorted to having an OnlyFans page. Let me go ahead and share screen real quick. Let's listen.
People that are outside of the acting world have no place to speak on it. When people are saying, oh, those Bernie Mac checks must have dried up, or like from a job 20 years ago when I was a 12-year-old, yeah, like duh.
Because we think the residuals are still coming through though.
I mean, they do, but
it's not.
I wasn't. Listen, if I.
How has OnlyFans kind of like played in terms of like career wise? Has it like helped sustain you? That was a large part of the energy that I saw people throwing at you, like, oh, you don't need the money, or did she go broke? How do you respond to that criticism?
Okay. Well, people that are outside of the acting world.
So the Bernie Mac show star Camille Winbush says Those TV checks dried up, so she started an OnlyFans page. Okay. Let me show one more share screen again. I just wanted to be free. Bernie Mac star Camille Wimbush states why she created her OnlyFans character once the momentum from her acting career stalled. Actress Camille Wimbush shed her innocent persona when she launched her OnlyFans account a year ago, but the process of growing out of her childhood character actually began years ago. The former child star is best known for playing Vanessa Nessa Tompkins on The Bernie Mac Show, alongside the late comedian Bernie Mac, and actors Dee Davis and Jeremy, who respectively played her sister and her brother, Brianna and Jordan. For starters, Wimbush, now 34 years old, told Comedy Hype that she did not have the team at the time that was fighting aggressively for me to get into new doors. Secondly, she said, I was a teenager going into my 20s and have been working since I was 2 years old. And I didn't really want to keep working and being on the set every day and having to give up a social life to work. I wasn't really that interested in pursuing it at the time. I just wanted to be free for a little bit. When the Bernie Mac Show went off the air in 2006 after 5 seasons and 105 episodes, the then 16-year-old would go on to have a running role on The Secret Life of the American Teenager. The teenage drama is her last big role, according to her page. She said that once the momentum slowed down, it's harder to jump back in where you left off because now you are 10 steps behind everybody else. Though Wimbush has appeared on various TV shows and films since the teenage drama, she continues to be recognized as Nessa, a reality that was evident when her sexy OnlyFans photos surfaced from the platform's paywall. To the surprise of many, Davis, 28, was also on board with posting seductive images of herself to pull in cash. So, if the most scandalous thing strangers can say about me is that I took some sexy pics as an adult and made a couple of mil in less than 2 years, I think I'm doing all right as a human being in today's society. So neighbors, it's true Bernie Mac would be turning in his grave if he knew baby girl and his sweet Nessa were on OnlyFans selling pictures of their goodies to lustful men and women. But that's the thing, Nessa and baby girl aren't, but Camille Wimbush and Dee Dee Davis are. Camille, who played Bernie Mac's niece on the Bernie Mac Show, clapped back at the social users took issue with her and Dee Dee's sexy photos. The trolls are hungry again, so here's some food for thought. I've never been arrested, never been on drugs, and don't have any baby daddies. I pay all my bills, I drink water, and mind the business that pays me, she wrote in a tweet. If the most scandalous thing strangers can say about me is that I took some sexy pictures as an adult and made a couple million in less than 2 years, I think I'm doing all right as a human being in today's society, she concluded. While it's obvious some fans have trouble separating actors from their respective roles, neighbors, and that's the neighborhood talking. So a disapproving ex-fan was especially critical of their decision, writing, "Broke Jezebel still got judgment coming." Someone else said, "Imagine having to do OnlyFans because your acting career never went beyond the Bernie Mac Show. Yikes on a bite." At the time, Wimbush hit back at critics, boldly declaring that she was in her villain era. It would never be a disgrace. She tweeted, and I read this to you earlier. She tweeted, where am I at? At the time, she tweeted, "I never been arrested, never been on drugs, don't have any baby daddies. I pay all my taxes. I drink water and mind the business that pays me. If the most scandalous thing strangers can say about me is that I took some sexy pics as an adult and made a couple of million in less than 2 years, I think I'm doing all right as a human being in today's society." Last June, during the appearance on Kenya Duke's Truly Kenya podcast, she stated that she discussed her provocative venture with her parents. They both gave her the okay. In May, she posed a question alluding to the difference in outrage surrounding her photos and adult content on cable. You see more skin in HBO than I show on my page. Candidly Cam is a character I play from the comfort and safety of my home, she wrote. Plus, I make significantly more money that goes directly into my pocket that I would from a contract salary on a TV show. Just curious where the line of acceptance content is drawn. Oddly enough, the majority of Wimbush subscribers are male viewers of the Bernie Mac show, many of whom have shared that she was their first crush. Despite perspectives of her side gig, Wimbush says she does aspire to marry and have kids. Salad, it's a discussion. Wayne, you're up.
Hey, my hat's off to her. I mean, she hasn't gone the whole length, and she said she made a couple mil in a year. And right by today's society, I think she's doing all right. She hasn't hurt nobody. They're not talking about her in the streets. And she's making an honest living. And you can't ask for much more.
I appreciate you, Wayne. In my opinion, you're up.
I feel of two ways. I hate that this the route she has to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she's not as undressed as most people that are on OnlyFans. She is more dressed. I just hate it when women have to feel like they have to undress themselves for some money. I do think she's an amazing actress.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you have to have a backup plan when we go into fields like acting and stuff like that. You have to have a plan B, and your plan B has to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why a lot of people tell you they went to school, even though they was doing acting. They went to school to get them a degree in case this didn't work out. Um, I really hate it. I think Bernie would hate it the most if he was still alive, knowing that she would have to go this route. But there are other women that's on Instagram that take out more clothes than she do. So if she this is what she want to do, I support her.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
I'm still trying to close my jaw here. So she had a conversation with her parents, and they thought it was a good idea for her to advertise her body on this site. I'm so confused. I've always known this young lady to be not problematic, very smart, and I'm just trying to see, was there a lack of guidance or support somewhere that she felt it necessary to go after the easy fast buck instead of I'm so confused on this story, Diva. I my heart breaks for her that she thinks that this is her only means. I don't, regardless of whether she's. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I can't comment on this story. I'm still stuck on the parents saying that's a good idea. That was a good idea to have their baby on there. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Diva.
no, I'm with you on that, Savannah. I'm stuck. I'm stuck too that the parents were like, this is okay if this is what you want to do. I personally, I would encourage my child, like, there's another way. There's another way.
Absolutely.
There's so much more you can do. even if you go back to school and you live with us while you're going back to school and do some other type of job, especially because she says she wants to get married one day, and have kids. Do you really want to have to explain to your kids these pictures? And do you really want your kids, everybody learns how to solve their issues through trial and error and through what they see. So indirectly, you teaching your kids, like, if you down and out and you got to do pictures on the OnlyFans, it's not that big of a deal. That I don't know. I don't like it, but that's me. Chanel, you're up.
Okay, so I listen. And maybe because I'm old school or whatever, I'm of two minds about this. I feel like this. I feel like I grew up in an era that says go to school no matter what. Not so much destroy your dreams or throw your dreams in the trash, but you always have to have, like, I think in my opinion was saying, a backup plan. I feel like the other, whatever the other is, the other plan, this is her other plan. And I wish personally she wouldn't have said anything, because she's an adult. She doesn't owe anybody an excuse or an explanation for whatever she chooses to do. And I do feel like there's something to be said for your parents supporting you, whatever that might mean. It may not necessarily be something they want to support, but I'd rather know that this is what my child is doing than her secretly stripping in a club or, whatever. That's just my personal opinion about it. I do think the entertainment industry will typecast you. And I think the world does the same exact thing. So if you are a person, this is the lane you should be in, this is what we agree to, and whatever else. And I just feel like, let people be. She's not hurting anybody. She ain't asking nobody else for money. She's not on public assistance. So I don't really see why anyone cares what her employment is if it's legal, and if she's not harming anyone else. She's not asking anybody for anything. And then the other part to that is, I've gone to college a few times. In college, I'm still paying student loans. So it's not to say that you shouldn't go, but there's a cost at every turn. So even if she went to college, maybe with the Bernie Mac show, maybe she had a good savings or whatever, and she could have put all that money into going to college. So maybe she wouldn't have loans. But there's millions of people walking around in America right now as a doctor and whatever else, and they still have the student loans. So I just feel like part of society doesn't want to grow. And I'm part of that society. Let me be very clear. I'm part of that society. But at the end of the day, nowadays, you can get on YouTube and be a makeup influencer and never have to step a day in an office anywhere and clock in. And I'm not mad at the makeup influencer for taking a different route. That's not the route I would take. That's probably not the route I would tell my child to take, just like I wouldn't tell them go on OnlyFans. But I don't think that we should sit in judgment. And I'm not saying that's what anyone is doing. I'm just simply saying the world should sit in judgment if that's the decision she's making, and she's making a living doing it. I just say, listen, do whatever makes you happy, as long as you ain't bothering nobody else. That's it.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Julia. Sherrod.
Even though OnlyFans is not my cup of tea, we have let society influence us to think that we could tell other folks what to do. And I'm all about the village. But sometimes the village ain't right all the time, and they don't want to focus on their inner turmoil that they may cause. And I say that now, Nessa is doing her. Nessa hasn't been in trouble with the law. Nessa is paying her bills. Who's helping her pay her bills? Nobody, especially me. I'm not helping Nessa pay her bills, even though I may not agree with her choice to do the OnlyFans route. Now, listen, I'm a certified cosmetologist by trade. That's something for me I could fall back on. Now, there are folks who are in the OnlyFans industry who do work multiple jobs that are not on just OnlyFans. And they don't be going out, going buck wild and everything else, like the naysayers and the trolls like to say. And I think it's quite unfortunate, because the actress who portrayed Nessa on the Bernie Mac show is a sweetheart. And folks think that they could just pop off at the mouth and not have any consequence. That in today's society is a problem. You need to look in your own closet. You need to look in your own mirror before you could talk about somebody else. Because you're doing things in your own life that are not appropriate, but yet you want to talk about her doing some, what, taking a picture in a sexy pose. That's the issue. Why? Because she loves her body. Like, I'm not understanding the hypocrisy, but yeah, I bet you'll pay whatever money is required to subscribe though. And her parents know. Her parents know. So who are we to come down on her when she already did her due diligence to inform her, the people closest to her? Like, that's it. That's all.
I appreciate you. Tay, you're out.
I may not don't like her choice. I mean, she gotta do what she gotta do. I mean, she gotta be careful how she posts the picture because you know how the picture is go out internet. Then just like Vanessa Williams, how her picture was when she was a Miss American. Uh, what's that? A model back in those days, right there. I'll say she had to be careful. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, I think that um I think that the entertainment world is there. Um, I just hope the best. I hope the best. Um, it's weird, but like I said, the entertainment world is it's been weird and it's sad. But either way, I just wish the best for them. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you so much. E, you're up.
Yes, I'm beginning to think the spirit of Camille Wimbush wanted to block my connection. I had to drop down off the computer and come back on the phone. Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with adult women taking their own pictures and profiting from them. She said she almost made $1 million. And the key words for me, she said, I had been working since I was 2 years old and I didn't want to keep working. And I feel like it's easy to say that someone should go to school and do this and do that. From what I got from that, she wanted to make the easy money. And I was able to infer that perhaps in her household when she was growing up, her and her sibling were taught cash is king. Her brother is Troy Wimbush, and he's a famous actor too. He played Denny on The Cosby Show. And I feel like the whole family bet on this Hollywood entertainment game, and it proved to be harder to sustain in the long run. So when she says, I spoke to my parents and they support me, I don't have a problem with that. I do admire that she is confident. I know that she is intelligent, and she's a forward-thinking woman who values the ideas of her parents. It's not a decision I would make or encourage for my own daughter, but my daughter's not in Hollywood. I want to because I want to piggyback off of what Tay Tay said, with Vanessa Williams and her pictures. I think these kids of Hollywood are of a different breed. And, work is honest and you have to pay the rent. And I also wanted to clarify something else that was said. It was said earlier, she's not in, what's the word I want to use? She doesn't have her full body on display, but she does. She's showing everything on the OnlyFans. And so, if she's getting paid for it, good for you. The part that I find most problematic when it comes to this Dee Dee Davis is there are people who are subscribing, because I know we're talking about Camille, but you threw Dee Dee Davis in there. When she said that people from the Bernie Mac show were subscribing and looking at her and saying, oh, I remember you from that show and you were my first crush. I want to know, who are these men? Because to me that seems unusual. These are little girls. How old are these men? To me that's the most problematic. I don't know, looking at these young women growing up, you I phrased that wrong. Looking at these young women now that they are grown up, it can be hard to separate the character from the woman. But these are grown women. I just went to Dee Dee's Instagram. She has 2 children. I mean, she's a beautiful young lady. And I think Camilla's beautiful. And I do think she's doing it tastefully. It could be done much more raunchy. So the problem I have is these people who are looking at these young women through the lens as if they are those young girls from the TV show. Because what sick fantasy are you getting from that? But that's all I have.
I
Uh-oh.
want to say this, right? The oldest profession in the world is the P profession, right? When them standing on the streets and you selling your body for money. And I know everybody want to say these are harmless pictures. The psychological damage that some of this stuff does to you sometimes is you can't reverse it, right? And so right now, maybe this is working for her in the moment. And if this is the way that you have learned to make your money, right? And she said she doesn't want to work long hours. Well, holler out there if you want to work 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday, and even on Sunday. Are you doing it 7 days a week? Mama Misha, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out if that's what you want to do. Who wants to do that? Shout out. Let me know if you got 2 jobs. And let me know if that's what you really want to do with your life. You want to work 2 jobs. It's something about the people that go in the entertainment industry, right? They said too much is given, much is required. So it's something about and I'm not talking about her just specifically. I'm talking in general right now, right? They go in the entertainment industry and the jobs dry up and they will rather be broke, poor, and homeless before they dare go work at a McDonald's or Target or Walmart. I'm confused about that, right? So just because we didn't pick that sector of job, if the bottom falls out, I promise you, y'all will have a picture of me and say, oh, I saw a diva being the barista at Starbucks. So it's almost like, well, I didn't want to work those long hours, right? But see, what happens is you can't undo what you did. You can't erase the past. You can move forward from it, but you can't erase it, right? So she said, I want to be a wife and a mom one day. And kids are cruel. We know that, right? So now here you are. You have, these pictures out there. And on those behind a paywall, someone is excited. She's only addressing it because one of her so-called fans, one of her so-called paid subscribers, they the one that leaked the pictures on the internet. And then she had to come out and just say, okay, yes, this is what I'm doing. And this is the reason why, right? So now these pictures are going to be out there forever. And you really want to wake up and have to tell your baby girl one day, like, this is what I did. This is the reason why I did it. When we're in a day and age where you can do TikTok, but you got to put in some work though, right? You can do YouTube, and she got a leg up on all of us because her name is already known. You can start a podcast and all of that money can go in your pocket. So there are other things you can do. And I'm sorry, if she was my daughter, and at the end of the day, any kid is going to do what they want to do. But if she was my daughter and she came to me and said, I'm about to do this OnlyFans because this is the last thing I could do and all the money and I don't work there, I'm going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, there is something else you can do, baby girl. There are some people, they are at the level where they do their podcast and they may put in 4 hours a week and they're raking in hand over fist cash. When you go for this fast money, it gets to you. And I'm going to commend, what is her name? Black China. What's her government name now? Angela White, I'm going to commend her. She took off those tattoos that meant a whole lot of other things. Listen, it impacts you. It changes you. It alters you. When you're sitting up there and you could be in the comfort of your own home. Because after a while, it's but so many pictures that you're going to be able to take that's going to sustain that membership, because they done saw it all. They saw your boobs. They saw your private area. Now you got to one-up it, and you got to do a little bit more. And once you start doing a little bit more, I do not want to get graphic, you got to go to the next level and the next level and the next level. And I don't know how much her page costs, but let's just say it's $9.99 a month, $9.99. So, okay, February, I saw you in your bikini. I saw you with your bikini off. I saw you posing this way. I saw you spreading it wide. What's next? What's next? And I'm sure they're commenting in there, about, what they want to see from you, what they want to do. You want to hear all, you think they're saying, oh, you look so sweet, you so pretty. I'm sure there's some in there that's getting very nasty, dirty, and vile. Yeah, I heard about Linnell doing OnlyFans. I think there's another way. And in these streets now, when there's so many opportunities, there are people raking in the cash on TikTok. There are people raking in the cash on YouTube. I don't know what people's obsession is with watching people eat food, but these people are literally just eating their food on YouTube. They have thousands and thousands of subscribers, and they're raking in the dough. When we are in a very good time period in this world, when you can make money in legitimate ways, and I'm not saying that's not legitimate, without showing your body like that and subjecting yourself to a whole bunch of crazies. See, because what happened is some of these people that buy these subscriptions, they don't know how to separate stuff. So now what did they see her on the street? It's too much. It's too much. I wish her well. I'm praying for her. Who wanted to say something? Go ahead, Katrina.
I'm beginning to think, I wonder why the parents said it's okay. Because, most of the time when these kids are stars, the parents normally spend up their money. Like Gary Coleman. And the little girl from Family Matters, she started doing corn. Um, I'm thinking like maybe the parents spent up her money. And you're right. There is the person that she is. I think she would have been better doing a podcast and breaking in the door or whatsoever. And what was the other one? Dana Plateau, that was on Different Strokes. You know, she got on the D, and she was doing the corn. It just it's sad and it's ridiculous. And I think that these young stars, they're so used to want to live that lifestyle, and then realize the money is gone. They doing anything they can, that's like you said, that's quick money, and quick fast money never lasts long anyway. So they're doing everything they trying to do to get that money back. But half of the time, the parents or the guardians being spend up their money before they become of age. But you're right, it's something else they can do instead of showing up their bodies. I know, just in case they do have children and kids go to school and then they been talked about or bullied or saying, I got a tape of your mom, I seen your mom. Don't know child want to hear that. But I understand exactly what you're saying, Diva. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's just too much. And I end with this before I go into the story I'm going to show. I will also say this. There are influencers on like Instagram and some of these different platforms that all they're showing is their fashion, raking in the cash. There's one influencer I follow. She has a YouTube channel too. And she has an Instagram. She used to work at Target. This is a real story. She used to work at Target. She was a manager at Target. She left because she wanted to become an influencer and doing all this stuff. Now she has a line in Target, a clothing line. But you know what though? Some people don't want to take the local train to their success. Some people want to lay their head on a pillow, wake up, and have everything they want. Sometimes it's going to take time. It doesn't mean delay doesn't mean it's never going to show up. My heart breaks for her. And I hope she wakes up sooner than later, and she gets out of this particular profession. I'm about to roll into my story. Hi, Dustin. How are you? You on mute, Dustin.
Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my sound fixed. I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Doing well. And I can't say it enough. I love your logo. I'm gonna run right into.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna run right into. I think this is the story I wanted to show. I hope so. I'm gonna run right into this story I want to show.
About what goes into Jack Daniel's whiskey. The popular drink has been around for 151 years, and its recipe is on the company's website. But a story about how Jack Daniel began his distillery is only now gaining traction. Michelle Miller traveled to Tennessee to learn how a man named Nearest Green helped make the brand a household name. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. You seem to know a lot about whiskey.
I do know. A little something about whiskey.
Uh-oh. Well, good morning. Well, some of the first clues about Nearest Green were in Jack Daniel's official biography, published back in 1967. Green was mentioned in this book about 50 times. Then his name seemed to disappear until one woman helped discover the truth at the heart of how Jack Daniel came to make whiskey.
It's important to set the record straight because anyone who accomplished something like Nearest did should be honored.
What Nearest Green, a slave, did was teach Jack Daniel how to make whiskey.
It was on the cover of the New York Times International Edition. It was possible that an African American was behind Jack Daniels, and it's never been spoken about until now.
For author Fawn Weaver, finding the proof of Green's legacy has become a passion bordering on obsession.
This is my research room.
Over the past year, Weaver's collected a library of documents, letters, and pictures, hoping to parse the truth from folklore.
Finally, one of the elders in the community, and she says, well, his name wasn't really Nearest. Well, his name was Nathan, and he's from Maryland. The oldest letter here is from 1898.
After digging for over 2,500 hours and speaking to more than 100 relatives, it started to come together.
I got so excited.
Debbie Staples, a great-granddaughter of Green's, had heard the tales of whiskey from her grandmother.
I knew she had no reason to make up a story like that.
In the late 1850s, Jack Daniel, an orphan, started working for a wealthy landowner and whiskey distiller named Dan Call.
This is where Jack Daniel grew up.
Okay. Call teamed Daniel with Green, one of his slaves and his main whiskey man.
And then after slavery, he started his own company, and the person he went to first was his mentor. And he did not see race as a barrier. She began pulling out all this research.
Weaver soon found evidence in black and white. A 1972 article in the Tennessee Historical Quarterly listed Nearest Green as Jack Daniel's first head distiller. Mark McCallum is the president of Jack Daniel's Brands.
When we've known and understood the weight of this story, all I can offer is anything we can do to continue to honor the name of Nearest, we will do.
The company first acknowledged Green as Jack Daniel's mentor last year.
There was an enormous amount of blowback.
Such as?
It ranged from some very positive commentary on the story to some very vitriolic. It was a very tense time in America as well. Then we were into that month or two leading up to the US presidential election. But I thought the last thing that America needed at that time was for Jack Daniel to come out again after all this commentary and raise up this story again.
People had been saying this for a very long time, but there was not one shred of proof. And so if you have a story that will be controversial, because most people don't listen to the whole story.
What do they hear?
Immediately, Jack Daniel had slaves.
By all accounts, he did not. It is believed that Daniel opened his distillery in 1866, a year after the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. And working with Daniel helped to make Green and his children wealthier than many of their white neighbors.
These are our master distillers.
Today, Green is mentioned in tours of the distillery.
That's Jack Daniel himself, and this is his crew back in the early 1900s.
There's no known photograph of Nearest Green, but this is his son George sitting right next to Jack Daniel at a time when Black employees were often relegated to the back. 3 living Green descendants still work at the distillery, including Staples.
It means a lot to me to know that, well, the world will know. Our country is divided. I know there's a lot of hate going, but you know, to be in the South and to have a relationship with someone that you would think that would never happen.
Despite the deep racial divides of the American South in the 19th century, an improbable friendship brewed, one at the heart of a quintessentially American brand.
For me, this project ends when I can go anywhere around the world and say Nearest Green, and people know who he is. I have never lived in this type of climate of race. And when I look at this story, this is the one story that's given me hope through everything else.
Weaver hopes to honor Green's legacy by building a memorial park, republishing Jack Daniel's biography, and then creating this new whiskey. It's called Uncle Nearest, and the proceeds will go toward a scholarship fund for the for Green's living descendants and to support the Nearest Green Foundation's various efforts. There is so much about that relationship between these two men that just astounded me. And one of the things that came out of this story was how Jack Daniel treated his Black and white workers. And he paid them essentially, according to Fawn Weaver and according to the distillery, he paid them the same wage for the same work.
Wow.
And
Back
it was,
then,
yes, back then,
that
and it was based on tenure.
Wow.
How long you had been with the company.
I so admire Fawn Weaver. I'm thinking, boy, if you needed an investigation, we need to call her with the pretty eyes.
I know.
All the work that she's done, that's an amazing story.
She's a passionate young woman.
Yeah,
no wonder her dad was the author of Love Child from Motown. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Such an incredible story.
Can you buy this? Is this available?
Yes, it is. It is
right.
available. So go
Yeah.
out and take a
She's terrific. What we learned
It's
from
available
spending
right
time
there,
with
Len.
history.
Right
Yeah,
there.
she's terrific. Thank you,
Yeah, it
Michelle,
was
for that
great.
story. Really,
Really
really beautifully done.
That was a great story. Interesting. I love so many things about it, right? But what I really loved is back then how this man, Jack Daniels, paid the worker their fair pay regardless of what they look like, right? And so imagine if this man, if Jack Daniels, I'm not even a drinker, and I really feel like buying a bottle of Jack Daniels and just putting it with the collection of my stuff back there. If this man way back then was able to do it and get along with everybody, why can't it be done now? It's so sad the way the world is so divided. It's also very sad, and I'm not going to take you down no winding road, what's going on between Caitlyn and Angel Reese right now. And I just hope that we can learn to just all get along. And you never know what we can, achieve together if we can all really just get along. Listen, guys, if you did not hit the like button coming in, y'all know the routine. Hit the like button on the way out. I hope you enjoyed that story. I do not drink, but I still did not know the history behind Jack Daniels. But now we know, right? Anyway, guys, good night and goodbye, everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Do not cheat that you always strike down. Cheat.